If you have a feed that's anything similar to mine, you've been seeing these makeup looks all over Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. I've been seeing creators on here recreate her signature looks, and I saw a comment on one of those videos where somebody said that you have to have clear skin to do this type of makeup. I'm here to prove to you that that is not true. And it is actually so far from the truth because makeup is achievable no matter what your skin looks like, and I'm gonna show you how to get that look today. The specific look that I want to recreate today is her sort of beachy, toasted, sunburnt, no makeup look. I'm starting with extremely hydrated skin. That's very important, especially if you do have acne-prone skin. You want to make sure that the products that you're putting on there aren't sticking to any dry patches. To further ensure that my skin is super glowy, I'm going to go in with a hydrating primer. I'm focusing this more so on the high points of my face because I'm going to go in with a different primer for my oily areas. In my T-zone area where I get oily, I'm going to use the iconic Danessa Blurring Balm. Let this sit on your face for at least 5 minutes before you do anything else. While this sits, we're going to do brows. In all of Olivia's looks, the brows are super fluffy. I'm going to bring a little bit of a cowlick into my brows by just brushing the front part forward and then following that through with the rest very roughly. These are the brows, super lifted. I know they might look a little bit crazy right now, but just bear with me. Now for this look, I'm not saying you need a full coverage foundation, but you need a full coverage foundation. If you really want to get that glowy skin without showing your acne, you need something that's full coverage. I put about this much on each side of my face, probably 3 swipes, because I don't want to put too much product on my face to make it look cakey. I'm blending this out with Say's big buffing brush. This covers a lot of surface area and distributes the product in a thin, even layer so that it looks like skin. It still covers up my acne and scars. I'm using another Say brush, just the fluffy end of it, to go in and lightly disperse the product on those blemishes. Of course, texture is still going to be visible. That's not something that you can make go away, but at least now we have a nice even base to work with. I'm going to go in with Merit's bronzer first, and I'm looking for that shadow and hollow in my cheek. And I'm going to go right slightly above that and follow it down here to carve out my face. I'm not fully gonna contour my nose. I'm just going to slightly go in on the crevices here by my eyebrow. Using Makeup by Mario's F4 brush to do this, I'm just patting right over where that product is. When it gets to up here, I'm going to pat it in an upwards motion so that it's not bringing down my face, but instead sculpting it and contouring it while still emphasizing my natural features. Also, this is just my skin, but my acne is not anywhere around here. So when I'm tapping in this bronzer, I'm not disturbing anything that we've put over earlier. But if your acne does live around this area, I would recommend setting it slightly first so the products don't get messed up and your coverage goes away. For the nose, I'm gonna use the same little brush that we used for concealer and just bring it down my nose and up through the brow bone. Before I go in with anything else, I do want to make sure that I'm not disrupting any of my acne that's sitting underneath my foundation. I'm using a pressed powder that matches the color of my skin, and I'm going in with a fluffy light brush, tapping off a lot of that excess product and just ever so slightly dabbing only on where my blemishes are. Going in with the Kosas just slightly under my eye here. I have a little bit of a brighter shade that I'm going to use right in this inner corner here. While this is setting in, I'm going to use a cream blush, and these looks, the blush is centered here. So I'm going to start lightly tapping it in to the center of my cheek. We're going over a pimple here, so just tread carefully, but don't be fearful. On the outsides of my cheeks, I want to use Merit's blush in the shade Apres. This is a very intense berry color. I'm just going to go in here and diffuse it upwards. I noticed that in these looks, the blush kind of makes a C around the eye, and that's the kind of shape that we're looking for. Bow. Tap, 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 and then very lightly tap, tap, tap. Seamless. Going back in with my Danessa, and we're just gonna pack it into the center of the face. Putting the blush almost horizontally to give that sun-kissed look. I'm using it to kind of fake contour and give myself like a little cute bulbous nose. It slightly goes up just a little bit, but not all the way. I also do feel like there needs to be a little bit on the forehead and the chin just for consistency. I don't have an eyeshadow to work with today, but this Jones Road Miracle Balm in the shade Tawny I think is going to be my best friend. I'm just going to apply this all over the lid, but really focusing it in this area sort of where my nose bone and eyelid meet. Yes, it's starting to really come together now. I'm noticing that in a lot of her looks there's a really nice glimmer in this inner part right here, and I'm just gonna go in right here by my eye and fan that out even further here and down a little bit here on the cheek, and then a little bit just on the top of my forehead. Now I feel like I'm at a point where I'm pretty happy with how this looks. Her looks are not complete without freckles, so I'm using Freck and make a few that go horizontally across my nose. Now I'm gonna go in and seriously set my face using One Size translucent powder. This works really well on my acne prone skin. We're gonna hit the chin, above the lip, arguably the most important area, the side of the nose, and right under where we put that brightest concealer. And the glow is still there. I'm gonna slightly hit right in between my eyebrows. I wanna bring a little bit of the light of that blush back and add a little bit more right there on my cheek and on the nose. For mascara, I'm gonna curl my lashes and apply the mascara only on the tips to keep it natural but still elongated. Now, this is gonna be the part that really pulls together the look, which is the lip combo. I have a very limited amount of lip liner, so we're gonna see what we can make work. I'm gonna try using my Makeup by Mario bronzer. I don't have a brush, so I'm putting it on a Q-tip just to show you that you can do this without a whole bunch of expensive products. I'm just gonna go over my lips with this. This is working out really well. Very surprised and very happily, pleasantly surprised by how this is looking. I need like a nice cool tone pink. I think this Say gloss will be absolutely perfect. This is in the shade Bubble. I'm just gonna tap this on my lips because I want to keep the look of those wrinkles, which are present in a lot of Olivia's looks as well, but even more just in the center. I think this is the final look. Wait, actually, she does like to do little beauty marks. Using this Refy brow pencil that I have, I just put them where I actually have some discoloration on my skin. This is the final look. I think it's really pretty. It's definitely something that you can do with acne on your face. Makeup is for everybody. Makeup is not only for the people with clear skin. Don't be afraid to show your skin with acne on it and with beautiful makeup on it.